Hi, this is Steve Merril from WagerTalk.com, back here once again on WagerTalk TV with your NFL most public video. And hey, good news and bad news. The good news is 29-7 regular season and postseason combined since I started this video about 3 months ago in late November. 29-7, fading the most public plays each week in the NFL, which I give you free right here on this video. The bad news, though, is we are down to our last week of pro football. Good news once again, Super Bowl Sunday, though. Bad news, not a lot of publics to choose from because we only have one game. But what I'm going to do here is give you both the side and total, let you know where the public is leaning. As a little extra bonus for all of you that have watched all season, I'm going to dig into the props real quickly as well and let you know what some of the more public Super Bowl props will be this weekend as well and where I'd recommend looking on those. First, though, a quick reminder, while the NFL season might be ending, college basketball and pro basketball are in full swing as we speak. 35-14 start to the college basketball season on my best bets for my personal clients at WagerTalk.com. 35-14 college basketball start. Football might be ending, but there's a lot of basketball for the next several months. We also have baseball around the corner in a couple months. Keep building that bankroll in the football offseason with basketball and, of course, baseball in the near future. But let's focus on basketball. 35-14 start to the college basketball season. Huge weekend on Saturday and Sunday in college and pro basketball as always. Normally, it's 189 for 30 days of my college basketball, my number one ranked college basketball at WagerTalk.com. Special offer, though, for all viewers here, all my loyal viewers for this NFL season. I'm going to give you a very special promo code, which gets you the entire 30-day all sports access pass for just $199. So basically, you're going to get NBA and Super Bowl Sunday for just $10 more. That's right. Normally, it's one college hoops only. Use SM199 to get a full 30 days all sports upgrade. Once again, very special promo code on this video only and for my viewers only here on WagerTalk TV. Once again, SM199 gets you 30 days all access, college and pro basketball plus Super Bowl Sunday, my side total recommendations, and all the props. And that's where the money is, of course, Super Bowl props, as we all know. Once again, go to WagerTalk.com, my page, Steve Merril. Use the drop down under all access. Choose the 30-day option and use this special promo code SM199 for 30 days of college and pro basketball and the Super Bowl included as well. Hey, let's get to Super Bowl 55 for this Sunday. Kicks off at 6:30 Eastern on CBS. And we're going to look at where the most public is on the side and the total in this game. First of all, the public is leaning towards the Chiefs and the over, okay? Chiefs and the over. I would say of those two, the over is the most public of the two. So once again, the public love is on Kansas City and the over. Now, neither one of these would be strong public plays during a regular NFL Sunday. You know, when we have 14 or 15 games to choose from, neither one of these would have qualified. So let's put that in perspective. So, you know, of that 29-7 record here, regular season and postseason, really the side and total, neither one of which would be strong enough to be an official public play. But it does look like the public is on Kansas City -3, and they're definitely on the over. I'd say that's the most public of the two, over the 56. And what's interesting about the over-under, guys, is that we have seen sharp money the first week and a half on the under. It opened 56.5. It's down to 56. The sharp professional bettors have definitely been hitting the under the last couple weeks. It makes sense because this is the second highest total in Super Bowl history. Professional bettors are very mathematical, very historically oriented. And Super Bowls historically have been a little bit lower scoring than this. In fact, only once the last 7 times we've had a line this high would have gone over, and that was in regulation time. Keep in mind, that Falcon-Patriot game had the highest total ever. It was also around a 56. It went over only because of overtime 4 years ago. Otherwise, it was at 56 in regulation, would have stayed under the 58, rather. That was the highest total. I misspoke. The highest total was 58. It totaled 56 in regulation, but did go over because of overtime. But it's hard to make an argument for the under in this game. Kansas City and Tampa, high-scoring shootout early on in that regular season meeting November 29th, yet it also stayed under with just 51 total points back in week 12. But keep in mind, over 900 yards of total offense, over 770 yards combined passing by Tampa and Kansas City. Chiefs got out to that quick 17-0 lead in the first quarter, and the game didn't really play out like a normal game after that. Tampa Bay had a lot of garbage and points and yards in the second half. But once again, that game did stay under back in week 12 with just 51 points. So there's been some professional money on the under. Looks like the public is on the over, though. And by the way, the public money usually comes in this weekend. So at 56, I think it might go back up to 56.5 or higher when that public money comes in. So depending on which side you like the total, if you like over, I would play it now at 56. I think it might rise with the public money. If you missed that 56.5 earlier last week, I would wait. It might be higher if you like the under. As far as the side in this game, Kansas City is a solid 3-point favorite across the board in all major sports books around the world as we head into the weekend. There is some extra juice, though, in Kansas City, minus 115, minus 120 in some spots. So I do think we very well could see a 3.5. Not sure it'll happen, though. Very unlikely, in my opinion, that the line drops to 2.5. So once again, I think it probably stays on 3. The juice will adjust on each side as odds makers are very reluctant to move off of the key number of 3, as about 9 to 10% of the time the NFL favorites win by exactly a field goal. So once again, if you like Kansas City, minus 3, I think it's the best you're going to get. If you like Tampa Bay, you might get a 3.5 at some spots by Sunday. I definitely don't think it goes down to 2.5 unless some injury information or COVID information breaks out after I'm doing this video on Friday night. As far as the money line, Kansas City minus 165, Tampa plus 145. Public leaning a little bit on the Chiefs also to win straight up. Keep in mind, though, if you like Kansas City, you're probably better off playing minus 3. If you like Tampa, by the way, you're actually better off playing the plus 145 money line because only 6 times in the 54 previous Super Bowls has the point spread mattered. There's been 2 pushes, but only 6 times has a team won and not covered. So Kansas City, obviously, if they win the game, are likely to win by more than 3. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, if they win, probably wins the game straight up, historically speaking. Now, of course, the one caveat is that back when these teams did play in Week 12, Kansas City was a 3.5-point road favorite, and they won by only 3 points. But once again, they blew a 17-0 first quarter lead. So that was a little bit of a misleading 3-point win as they really dominated early on. And the time remaining, guys, I want to remind you real quick before we get to Super Bowl props that if you'd like to get basketball, now's the time to do so. 35-14 start to the college basketball season for me on my page at WagerTalk.com. And if you'd like to get a full 30 days of my college basketball, it's $189. But as a very small offer to all viewers here of my NFL video, I have a promo code SM199, which gets you not only that 30-day college basketball number 1 ranked at WagerTalk.com, 35-14 this season, but you're going to get the NBA for 30 days for just $10 more. Plus, I'm throwing in Super Bowl 55 on Sunday, including all of my prop best bets as well. That's right. For an additional $10, you're getting 30 days of the NBA plus the Super Bowl and all my props. Fantastic offer, and it's only available with this promo code SM199. Special thank you to all of you that have watched me for the past several months here on the weekly NFL video. Once again, the bad news is the NFL is done after this week. Good news, though, plenty of basketball for months ahead. SM199. Go to my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Use that promo in the All Sports Access. Drop that box down, click 30 days All Access, and use SM199 for that very special discounted price. In the final few minutes here, let's look at some props real quick. You know, it's hard to say what side the public is going to be on in Super Bowl props. The numbers vary at all the different sports books, so I don't really have the information for the props like I would on a weekly basis for the sides or totals. But just historically speaking, this is the 25th Super Bowl I've handicapped as a full-time professional handicapper. I started back in 1996. I've gotten a feel for which way the public likes to look on props and which are kind of the sucker bets, if you will. And now the public normally likes to play favorites, but when it comes to big underdog money line props, they play the plus money. They're not going to lay 13-1 to win or 20-1. They're going to take the plus 700, the plus 1,000. So I just wanted to point out a couple real quick to be careful with. First of all, one of the biggest sucker props probably is the over-under shortest, longest touchdown. It's always 1.5 yards. The average Joe will walk in there and see plus money at plus 150 on the over and think that looks easy. Wanted to let you know that more times than not, these games do have a touchdown of 1 yard or less. Now, it doesn't always happen, and I'm not saying to play it one way or the other, but just want to let you know that is usually one of the most public plays is that there'll be a touchdown of 1.5 yards or less. The public plays the no, even though the yes is minus money for a reason and happens more times than not. Now, one thing to point out, it did not happen in the earlier meeting this year between Kansas City and Tampa back on Week 12. And the Chiefs have only had a touchdown of 1 yard or less 4 times out of 59 scores this year. The Bucs have done it 11 times out of 54 scores. Kansas City, the most explosive offense in recent years. And that's one of the reasons they don't get down to the 1 yard line much. They usually score before that. So this might not be as much of a public sucker play as it normally is in years past. Just wanted to point that out to you. Normally the public jumps on the no. There's usually not any value there. But hey, once again, Kansas City only had a touchdown of less than 1.5 yards, 4 out of 59 scores this season. So maybe not as square as that play normally is. And it also, as I mentioned, did not happen in the regular season meeting. Another prop I want to point out is the overtime prop. Will there be an overtime? You know, obviously with the 3-point line this year, a competitive game, that looks very likely. And you think at plus 700, I've even seen it as plus 800 on the overtime, 8-1. The yes seems to have some value, but it doesn't. It's only happened once in Super Bowl history. 54 other Super Bowls, we've only had one overtime. And of course, that was 4 years ago. New England, Tom Brady involved, but they were down 28-3 in that game. It was really remarkable it even went to overtime. Otherwise, we've had none. So a 53-1 would be the true odds based on history. That means there's a 2% chance. Now, I do think the odds are a little bit better than that because this is a competitive game with a point spread of just 3. Keep in mind, in the 1980s and early 90s, we had blowout big point spread Super Bowls. But look, in recent years, 17 of the last 19 Super Bowls have had a favorite of 7 or less. 17 of the last 19 Super Bowls, the point spread's been a touchdown or less. So those have been competitive games, and we still have only had one overtime in 17 games when the spread's been a touchdown or less. That comes out to only 6% of the time. Now, you do have to lay minus 1,300 on the no. That means there's about a 93% chance it won't happen. So that's about the true odds. It's probably a 1 to 13. So I'm just letting you know the public loves to play that 7-1, that 8-1 on the yes. There's no value there. It might happen. I'm not saying it might not happen, but you need to be getting about 12 or 13-1 to make it a fair bet. And I have not seen any sports books out there giving you those odds on the yes, will there be an overtime. And finally, before I let you go, one other Super Bowl prop where I think the public initially looks at it and think there's good value with the plus money, but it's normally not the case, is will there be 3 straight scores in the Super Bowl? The yes is minus 200. The no is plus 165. A lot of times the public says, boy, that's tough to have 3 straight scores in a game. They jump on the plus money. More times than not, it happens. It happened earlier in the regular season meeting. As I mentioned, Kansas City got out to a 17-0 lead. They scored 3 straight times in the first quarter. Last year in Super Bowl 54, the Niners and the Chiefs both scored 3 straight times each, yet the game still stayed under the total. And now we have the second highest over-under ever, so there should be a lot of points scored. Extra scoring plays means it is more likely that a team can score 3 straight times. And by the way, it has happened in 7 of the last 11 Super Bowls. However, it's only happened in 2 of the last 5, so maybe not quite as likely in recent years as it has been in the past. And I think the odds are pretty much where they should be, but once again, don't just blindly jump on the plus money on the yes or the no that there won't be 3 straight scores, as it does historically happen about 65 to 70% of the time and in most Super Bowls. Hey, once again, I've loved having everybody with me the past couple of months. We will be back with the start of the NFL season next year for more of these weekly NFL public videos. Don't forget, if you're a basketball lover, and you should be because basketball is a great moneymaker, I've started a weekly Friday night college basketball Big 3 preview video right here on WagerTalk TV. You get my analysis and my power rating for the 3 biggest top 25 matchups for each weekend. I did that last week. I already also did it for this week's Saturday games. Keep an eye out there for the next month or so, each Friday night right here on WagerTalk TV, a college basketball 3-pack preview. And final note, if you want my college basketball best bets, the same games that are 35-14, number 1 in the country this year at WagerTalk.com. You can get them along with my NBA and Super Bowl for a very special price, 30 days all access for just $199. Must use special promo code SM199. My page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, SM199 gets you 30 days all access, college basketball, pro basketball, and all of my Super Bowl and props for Sunday. Go to all access right now on my page at WagerTalk.com. Choose the 30-day all access package and use promo code SM199 for that fantastic offer. Thank you once again for checking in here for the weekly NFL public video. And don't forget to check in for more daily videos right here on WagerTalk TV. Best of luck as always.